Hello, I'm Ted from The Devil's in the Detail, and one of my lovely subscribers had watched the video of the headlight restoration I did on the 230 SL Pagoda, but I didn't show how I stripped the headlamp. And he did ask, and it's been some time ago now, he did ask if I'd show how you take them apart. But what I wanted to do really is sort of give you some of the mindset that you have to get into when you're dealing with these old cars and the parts that you're going to try and restore. But the most important thing is to remember that these parts, this headlamp is, I think, 51 years old, and the headlamp itself is made of glass, and it's been fitted to a car, and I know that the car, had been stored for a long time, and looking at the headlamp, it doesn't look like it's ever been taken apart. Obviously this one has, because I previously took it apart to clean the lens and everything inside. So I'm going to show you how I look at the job in hand. Now, as I says, the lamp's 50 years old, and the glass is case hardened, and so over the years, temperature changes and everything, it's going to be quite brittle. Glass doesn't have any flex in it anyway, but what we don't want to do is give it any shock treatment. Now, between the headlamp and the backing, it has a seal. Now this seal, when I stripped it the first time, it was rock hard. I can actually bend this now with my nail, when I couldn't do that when I first took it apart. But I'm going to show you what I did. The lamp's held together with these C-clips, and there's 4 of them, and basically they clip onto the back of the headlamp, and they go through this little hole in the bracket, and then they clip onto the glass. Now, you imagine that in some cases, and I'm talking from experience when I say that I have flicked these clips in the past, and as soon as you relieve the pressure on this corner, I've had a crack go straight across the headlight bulb. So what you have to do is think to yourself, how can I sort of make things a little bit easier on the headlamp and myself. Now, basically, the 2 tools that I've got is a screwdriver and a heat lamp or a heat gun. So basically, I'm going to spend a few minutes warming the glass and making sure that I go all the way around the glass and the rubber seal. Now, what this will do is soften the seal up, because it will be baked hard and it isn't going to want to have any give at all. Now, to flick the clips off, you're actually pulling the glass tighter to the bowl, and you can crack it doing that. So I always warm really the glass and the rubber to get a bit of suppleness into the rubber. Warming the glass, I think, does help. I don't know for sure, because I don't know the science behind it, but basically I'm hoping that we're transmitting more heat, from the glass to the inside of the rubber, because the majority of the rubber is inside that you can't get to. So we're going to warm it up. Now obviously I know that this lamp's been apart. It's still as frightening just doing it like this, you know, because you just never know. But I am going to do it, you know, regardless. I did promise that I would show the procedure that I use. This probably isn't, you know, a procedure that anybody else uses. I just feel that for me, I feel safer. You know, I feel like I'm taking precautions to save myself having to go and find an headlamp bulb for one of these old cars. And the rarer they get, the harder the parts get to find, and not only that, they'll be very expensive. So once you feel the glass is starting to get, this is no way getting hot. It's only warm. I'm just warming it up gently, and especially around the rubber. I don't want to get the rubber that hot that it melts. I just want to give it, you know, a little bit of give. And remember, you know, that it is on the inside as well as the outside. So don't always take it that because you've warmed the outside of the rubber up, that it's gone all the way through. So just spend 5 minutes warming it up, and I think that'll do. I probably would give it longer, you know, if I was actually doing this for the first time. And now we've got to unclip it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the screwdriver in and twist it, and it falls out. Now I'm going to do the same side so that the pressure's relieved. And this one doesn't. There you go. That's 2 out. Now there's no pressure on the glass this side, so it should just fall off easily. And here's a clip that don't want to. Now it has fell out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It isn't going anywhere. Right, and then we just prise the glass up gently. Make sure, and yeah, there's 2 more clips there that I forgot about. No, there's none on the bottom. I'm going to prise the glass up, and now you can clean the inside. I've already done this, so I'll just give it a wipe. Now, at this point, a lot of people will be tempted to get some chrome cleaner and buff up the reflector. Don't do it. And the reason is that this reflector is only a sprayed on material. It's not chrome. If you feel that you're going to have a go, don't. Here's one that somebody tried before, and as you can see, instead of polishing it up, they polished through it. This has been kindly borrowed me by Richard, who's camper van, you see, the orange one you see on my site. This has been loaned to me by him, just for these demo purposes, to show you what happens if you try and polish up the lens. So don't do it. A light wipe with a dry cloth, or a damp cloth even, but by just giving it a wipe, you'll remove any excess dirt that's there, and you can see, it's clean enough. Yes, I have cleaned this one previously, but I'm just saying that, it's only had a light wipe. Yes, you can see marks in it if you look, but they're very, very slight. So there you have it. The rubber, as you can see now, is still supple. You know, after months have been done. You know, I haven't treated it with anything. It was just the warm air has made it soft again. So that's it. And obviously putting it back together is just a case of putting the lens back in place and re-clipping it. And that's not the easiest job in the world, but it's just the reverse of taking it apart. So I hope this has been helpful. You know, but the most important part of all this, it doesn't matter what part of the car, is have a think about the materials that are used in the construction, how old they are, how fragile they're going to be. You know, it's like leaving leather cloth for donkey's years without having any conditioning in it. You know, if you pull at it, it'll tear. So just be aware that there are things that can go wrong. And the best way is just to be very, very careful and just try and help the thing before you start, you know, so that it saves you the trouble of having to find a new one. Right then, well, that about concludes this video, and I'm sure I'll be back with some more useless information for you at another point. But you know, somebody asked if I could do it, and I have. So there you go. Thanks for the comments, and anybody wants to know anything else, I'm quite prepared to do a video of that particular part. As long as I've got it at hand that I can show you, I'll do it. So see you soon, look after yourself, and thanks for subscribing. It's appreciated.